Greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations. Fabian Seh community, what a one. It's episode 19. Can you believe it? Episode 19 in these COVID times, and we're back. And guess what? This episode is called Fabian 2.0. I have to admit, my original idea was to have an image of me interviewing myself, but I thought that would be a little creepy. So I decided not to, and just thought I'd come and talk to camera as I normally do. What is Fabian 2.0? So, the idea is the new and improved version of anything. So you have 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and you move up the ranks. COVID-19 has been a very powerful time for me. It has provided a lot of time for introspection, wrestling with some stuff. It's brought difficult challenges, realizing income is not coming in. The fact that there are things in your life that could be tweaked, fixed, thrown out, improved. And so this comes out of that for me in a very, very powerful way of what is Fabian 2.0 and what does that look like. And I want you to start thinking now as I go through this, what does this look like for you? Here's a very interesting thing as well. I find sometimes life gives you these opportunities. So, nationally, we've just had an election and Jamaica has decided, and coming out of that election and before, promises were made.
We are going to create the new Jamaica.
This team is ready to rescue Jamaica.
Manifestos were shared. Things were said. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to improve this. We're going to cut out corruption. We kind of did the same thing to ourselves. We make promises. We have our own personal manifestos. What promises have you made to yourself? Maybe long-standing promises. Are they fulfilled? Are you even working on them? What's your personal manifesto for yourself? What things are holding us back? So I'm really grateful because I have had an epiphany that I've worked on actively. So tangibly, COVID-19 gave me a lot of creative ideas. And one of them was to have a virtual season for my company, Tribes and Kofa. And we concluded that last week. We had our first ever virtual season that went very well. What do I mean by that? We did 2 nights via Zoom that people paid for via Eventbrite or account deposits. And we got some new people. People wouldn't have been able to see us because they're not in Jamaica. So the virtual space opened up new audience. Then we were lucky enough to get selected by Kingston Creative to be part of their creative takeover. So the third part of our season was part of Kingston Creative's art walk, virtual art walk. And it's the first time they were doing it in that format as well. It was 3 groups, Tribes and Kofa, my group, Center Stage Workshop, and a singer called Joby J. And it went really well. It was great. It allowed a different kind of formatting, a different kind of presentation, and a wider audience. And our presentations are still up. They're going to be up for, I think, another week. And then it gives us now the opportunity to tweak the stuff that we recorded, to re-edit, to reshoot, so that when we repost on our YouTube page, it's a stronger version. Now, you don't often get these opportunities, and I honestly believe that COVID-19, but generally anytime in our lives, we can take those opportunities. And I've done that, and I'm feeling really good, excited, grateful, a little nervous. You always have that thing of, suppose this doesn't work. But I'm stepping out saying this is going to work. So what am I doing intentionally? What manifestos am I going to be making sure that I keep my word to myself and promises made? I realize I have never deliberately promoted myself and what I do. A lot of the work I get, and I'm very grateful for it, has been word of mouth. I do a workshop and people tell other people. I teach a class and people tell other people. And the times when I've done some minor deliberate promotion or talking about myself, it bears fruit. So I teach a Bob Marley course at the University of the West Indies. It's my favorite course to teach. It's called Bob Marley and His Music. We don't usually do any promotion for it because the course is really popular. Then one summer I said to my HOD, I'm gonna do a makeshift flyer. I'm gonna make a flyer, I'm gonna put it up online. And that semester I had like 65, 70 odd people in the class, which is huge because it's not a foundation course. So a little intentional promotion. I'm gonna say maybe 2 years ago, a young man who was in my group, Tribes and Kofa, Duvy, wherever you are, big up yourself, we need to talk. Duvy was my workshop assistant for a session I did for a company, a team building session. So in addition to assisting me with the workshop, he shot some footage and he put together a really nice short video clip, added music to it, and then we added some captions. And the amount of hits I got on that when I posted it on social media was remarkable. And of course, I didn't follow it up with anything concrete. So it petered out. Fabian 2.0, none of that. So here's what I've done. I have gotten some artwork. So there's 2 sets of flyers. One that promotes me as a trainer and facilitator, and another that speaks to my coaching services, because I do life coaching for individuals and couples and students, you name it. I do corporate coaching. I also do performance coaching. So for artists, performers, singers, somebody wants to make a speech. A lot of people don't know that because I don't promote it. And the other flyer, as I said, and those flyers will be shown in this episode, is my training and facilitation, which I've done for over 20 years, over a wide range of topics. It's important that we honor our gifts and our talents, especially in this time of diversifying our income. You know, they talk about pivoting and rebranding and refocusing. I decided to be aggressive now and deliberately, intentionally put myself out there in terms of my talents and my abilities. And that is also going to involve some more aggressive promotion of Fabian Seh. So the feedback I'm getting from people is that they really like the show, they love the content. I guess I now have to get people to do that thing of, comment, because I want to start a dialogue and a conversation. So I'm reminding you, as you're watching this, like, subscribe, but also post comments. I'd love to hear, what are you working on? What personal manifesto are you now recommitting to, or maybe even running away from, because it's not perfection. What promises have you made to yourself? Like this nation, Jamaica, where our 2 parties have made these promises. Have you made promises to yourself that you are in the process of trying to fulfill? Or have you fulfilled any? Have you honored any? Share that as well. Share victories, share triumphs, because that's really important. I'm going to share 1 or 2. The virtual season is 1. And as I mentioned before, I think when I did the episode with my 2 tribers, we functioned throughout COVID. We kept meeting virtually. The last 4 or 5 new members of Tribes and Kofa, I auditioned them virtually. And we plan to maintain some of that, but also, do our meetings face-to-face when we need to, maintaining all safety protocols and all that good stuff. So the virtual season was definitely a triumph for me. Also, I got 3 or 4 creative projects, ideas for books. A script that's been in my life for a while came back to me. But one of the books, I finished it. It was a memory thing. So it was recollections from my life of things and people that impacted me and imprinted me. And so I started to just record it. I recorded the chapters, sent it to, there's some people who transcribe for me, sent it to them to transcribe for me. Then I tweaked it, sent it to my copy and style editor, and it's done. 21 chapters of a new book. Finished. And now I'm in that, so now I need to start shopping it around to publishers. So this went from an idea that came to me, I wrote it down, but now it's finished because I took deliberate action. So that's a crucial thing for all of us. Most of us get great ideas. I honestly believe those ideas are for you, not for me, not for Damien, not for anybody else. Spirit sends ideas, God ideas, my pastor calls them, to you for a reason, especially the ones that keep coming back to you. There's some things and ideas and projects and things that keep coming back to you. It's not accidental. Sometimes you have to pause. So, what God ideas are you avoiding, dodging, or have you started? Are you working on? Here's the other thing that's important, and I've said this before, an accountability tribe can be 1 other person, 2 other people, where you hold each other accountable. You dream with each other. You allow each other the space to dream. You encourage each other. In my accountability group that I have, it's 4 of us, me and three women. And sometimes we call it, we back up each other. Why are you stalling? Why are you stalling? You said you're going to work on this a month ago. It's still not done. What can we help you with? Do I need to make some calls for you? Or we say, this looks like you. I think you should apply for this. And sometimes we do the bad-ups one-on-one. We don't do it in the group, but it pushes us and nudges us to keeping our promises, to stepping out of fear, to looking at that manifesto. What needs to be tweaked, erased? Are we honoring it? So Jamaica is in an interesting place right now. And maybe all of us can use that as our own personal backdrop. What different is going to happen? What new is going to happen? What new ideas? What new vision? Is it the same old, same old? Is that what's going to happen? Or are there going to be some new, fresh approaches? Are promises going to be kept? Is corruption going to be eliminated? Are we going to see a shift in the crime? You know, are we going to have a united front as a nation? Because one of the things I always maintain is being in opposition doesn't mean you gripe and complain and criticize everything. If something works and makes sense for the nation, support it. You're there as a watchdog, as an observer, but not just to tear down and decry every single thing. Sometimes we do that to ourselves. We over criticize, we pick at ourselves, or we start to believe what other people say about us, or we give into the fear and the doubt. We have to shake that off. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Like I said, I honestly feel like I'm about to move into one of the most powerful phases and stages of my life. That came out of COVID, that came out of me having the time to reflect and to run and to hide and to be nervous and to challenge myself and write things down. For me, I don't know about anybody else. If I don't write it down, it's not real. And whether that's appointments, commitments, whatever, write it down. So I'm going to challenge you and encourage you, write a list, make a to-do list, a life to-do list of things, major ideas and projects, changes, amendments you want to make. Give yourself some timelines. By when? What do I need help with? You know, what is already started, so maybe I can just finish that off quickly. And keep going, keep pushing. Because guess what? COVID gonna be with us for a while. Me not think Christmas I keep. So make your virtual Christmas plans now. You know, we're having a spike that doesn't surprise me. You know, even that as a country, have we honored ourselves by being safe, staying safe, being sensible, wearing our masks, you know, not congregating, not throwing parties, but honoring ourselves as individuals, but also as a nation, as in our communities. You know, I hear these really disturbing stories that there are people who, after complaining and groaning how the government and we're wicked and we work to them, come home, they go from the airport straight to the bank to check their balance. They visit 4, 5, 10, 15 friends before they actually quarantine. People, that cannot to be work. That makes no sense. Then I'm not even going to touch the people having parties with no mask and all this. Just stuff that's irresponsible. So we have to be responsible to ourselves. We have to really safeguard and protect ourselves and safeguard and protect our dreams, our goals, and our visions. Here's the last thing I'm going to share, which is not rocket science. We are still in the midst of COVID-19. This is a new dispensation. This is unlike anything we've ever seen or felt or faced. How are we showing up new, different, and improved? What's your 2.0? We need a 2.0 for the education system. So it can't be one size fits all. It just can't. We have to have some different and nuanced conversations. I'm actually also excited about that. One school has inquired and wants to set a date with me. And I'm calling this workshop, this session, the coaching session, ready for September. And now I've added October morning. What does that look like in your school? What does it take to be ready? Do you have sanitizing stations? Do you have the space? Do you need extra help? Do you need some volunteer teachers? Do you need some teachers' assistants? Are your teachers really ready to go full sail online? What about the kids who don't have access? What's the plan for them? How are you going to maintain and make sure that the students practice social and physical distancing, not just on the school compound, but on their way to school and when they leave school? What about the fears and concerns of teachers? There's a whole barrage of stuff to wade through because this is unlike anything we've ever done. So we need to be bringing our most creative and imaginative and open selves to the conversation space around education. Originally, UE was going to go some courses face-to-face, some courses online. with the recent spike in cases, everything is online. And that makes perfect sense to me. It also means that some students who are, back home in the countries outside Jamaica can save some money. They can stay home and go online. It's going to mean, for us as lecturers, but teachers and also students, does it mean upgrading your Wi-Fi if you have Wi-Fi? Can we do some house pooling? If there is a house in the community or a community center that has great Wi-Fi, can a number of students gather there to learn? So those kind of things, that kind of creative thinking we need to apply as a nation for COVID in this post-election period, but to our own lives. So I'm excited. I'm energized. Oh, I have it here. Someone just hold it up on screen. The time is past. My church has a publication called The Daily Inspiration for Better Living. And I've done a lot of writing and performing for my church. And my pastor, Reverend Sheila Keith, bless her, she doesn't bother to ask me to see drafts anymore. She just kind of knows, I know what I'm doing and I understand the message. Well, I was asked to be the featured writer for August for The Daily Inspiration. And it's been an absolute blessing. The outpouring of love and encouragement and people saying, wow, your writings for August really blessed me. Thank you so much. Thank you for adding your voice. Again, because it's a publication for our churches, not only in Jamaica, but outside of Jamaica and in America and in Canada, people from abroad, who may have known my name or seen me at our church conventions, some people have messaged me, sent me personal messages saying, thank you so much for this. So we have to stop limiting ourselves. There's a verse in the Bible that says a man or woman's gift makes room for them. What's your gift? Don't hide the gift under a bushel. Stop turning on your light. Standing in light. Claim it, claim it, claim it. Claim every good thing that you want. But it needs a manifesto. It needs a plan of action. It needs a timeline. It needs us to keep our promises to ourselves, just like Jamaica. Let's use a national backdrop to nudge and encourage ourselves. This is a new period for Jamaica. We just went to the polls and decided who we want to lead us. What is that leadership going to look like, and how are we leading and governing ourselves, our own lives in our own spaces, our children, in our churches, in our communities? What are the conversations we're having about what is possible, but also taking action to make what is possible actually come true? So let's get those 2.0s going. Look out for it, folks, because I'm going to be going hard on social media and promoting myself. And as I said, you'll probably see the flyers and thing first in this episode when you watch it, depending on when you watch it. So we're there, episode 19. Wow, the next one's going to be episode 20. And to be honest with you, I have no idea what that is yet. I have a list of some folks I want to interview and some things I want to do. And Damien and I are going to knock heads and talk about what is possible. I have some interesting ideas. I want to see what that will take to make that happen. But it's going to be good. We plan to have fun. And we're here for the long haul. So what's your plan? What's your manifesto? What promises are you keeping? As we go into this new day for Jamaica, what is your new day for yourself? What is your 2.0? So my name is Fabian Thomas, and I'm the Fabian Seh, checking out of episode 19, saying peace, love, blessings, and let's roll out and ramp up those 2.0 projects. Peace and love.